Larys is a warg and possibly a green seer. Larys is a very enigmatic character who not only harbors the ability to get things done in the shadows, but also to do extreme acts of brutality. His wealth of intimate knowledge of those around the Red Keep enables him to be a very effective player in the Game of Thrones, specifically for Alicent. While him being club-footed and therefore ignored and invisible by many of the noble people at court could be used as a justification for his ability to listen closely to private conversations, there are further explanations, more fantastical explanations as well. Some people believe that simply overhearing some key conversations would not lead to all of the intimate knowledge that Larys possesses about key people in the Red Keep. Some have even linked his ability to manipulate people to legendary figure in Westeros, Bloodraven. Could Larys be a green seer like Bloodraven? And to take it one step further, could Larys also possess the power of warging? This theory stems from the fact that Larys' wealth of knowledge, but also imagery of what was extremely prevalent in House of the Dragon Season 1, which was rats running all over the Red Keep. In many, many key scenes, we see rats infesting the dragon's skull, infesting the blood-ridden floors after the brutal beatdown that we see Kristen Cole deal out. Is Varys working into the rats in the castle and spying this way? Is he seeing conversations that he should not be seeing by using these rats that are all over the Red Keep? Or is he working with a more human-like network of spies akin to Varys from Game of Thrones? Either way, Larys is one to keep our eye on as we move forward in House of the Dragon for sure.
I think this one has some validity to it.
I don't hate it. There's nothing in the Strong family line that would tip us to believe that he should have green dreams, but we don't really know what
that much about the Strong line because he's the end of it.
Yeah, he thins it out a little bit, doesn't he? I don't know, man. I like this one. I think it's harmless, by the way. Like, I think that this will never be confirmed in the show. I don't think. I might be wrong. Which we have some more Larys theories coming that are way more ridiculous than this. But this one's harmless in the fact that, like, if this is never confirmed or denied by the show, we could believe it and it doesn't change much. You know what I mean? So this one's kind of cool. Definitely takes a step further with the warging. Like, even a green seer, it's like, okay, well, maybe like he's seeing things and he knows positions to be in for the future. But warging into the rats would be like a whole nother level, more akin to Bran than Bloodraven. You know, because Brandon was a green seer and a warg, whereas Bloodraven was just a green seer. So this would make Larys one of the more powerful people ever in Westeros history if it were true.
It would explain a lot. You know, I mean, there's a kind of ridiculous theory and it's actually more ridiculous than this one, that Varys is a merman. And it talks about the idea that Varys is able to sort of like swim across the narrow sea, and that's how he can like he knows so why everything that's going on over in Essos, because he could just go back and forth. It's pretty ridiculous, but a fun one. This one actually sort of makes a lot of sense. I mean, warging is something that's not very common, but it's in the series, the main series, like, well, it's kind of common. All the Stark children can do it. Some of the wildlings can do it. We don't know really anything about the House Strong because Larys is the end of it. He's the end of the House Strong line, and you know, they're just sort of there. And in the books, really, you know, again, it's sort of rough outline, so we don't know. So I think it actually would make a lot of sense if he were a warg, and I think it'd actually be pretty cool.
Yeah, I think it would be neat. And the rats were a very good piece of symbolism of like things like, you know, being messy in the Red Keep, but also like eating within the beast beneath the fords. A lot of people thought the beast beneath the fords, before we saw what it was the rats. Like, a lot of people thought that that's what she meant, Helena, whenever she said that. So, you know, the rats could just be symbolism, but maybe it's more than that. Like, maybe there's a reason why we're seeing them. And I know me and you mentioned it after every single episode. Like, what's up with the rats? Like, there has to be something more. And this is a very interesting this is an interesting justification, not just for that symbolism, but I've seen a lot of people levy the criticism that they felt like Larys hasn't really been given enough context, meaning that like he just seems evil for evil's sake, like killing his entire family, which is a massive deal in Westeros. He kind of just does it, and we don't really know, other than maybe just some ambition, but like, what is that ambition? Maybe him being a green seer would give him foresight to know that the events need to play out this way, and that's why he's so willing to go ahead and do these things. Also, I mean, it could be the fact that he's club-footed and has probably been looked down upon, and he's not the strongest of the bunch, compared to Harwin. And so, I mean, there's definitely some natural like
Right.
bridges we can build to get to these assumptions of why he did what he did. But it is interesting and fun to look at the fantastical elements of it as well and say, well, maybe he knows something we don't.
And he also seems like he kind of comes out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Like in the show, it just seems like, whoa, he just came like
In front of a werewood. Just say it.
This was one actually that I could see. And it would be kind of cool because the books are told to us through Mushroom and a Maester. So then it's like, okay, so it would make sense that they would not know that he's a warg, but the show could totally do it. Then it would also make him seem a lot more powerful and evil as a villain.
Yeah, and I think it wouldn't be bad to give a little bit more nuance to him of like why he's doing what he's doing, other than just the fact that he happens to be a disabled person in
Right.
Westeros. Like that is pretty two-dimensional, right? Like we should be able to do a little bit more of that. We should be able to get some more, and we have time, so we'll see what happens. He's certainly got a role to play in the future of House of the Dragon, and who knows, maybe he'll be warging into a dragon.